StudyIQ IAS, अब तैयारी हुई अफोर्डेबल।
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Please sit down. Abhinav.
Sir.
How do you pronounce your surname?
Sir, Siwach.
Siwach.
Yes.
Siwach and Sivag are the same community?
The community is same, sir.
Community is the same. You are basically from Haryana.
Yes, sir.
And you moved over to Delhi for your writing this exam or for some other reason?
Sir, I did my graduation from Delhi Technological University, and sir, currently I'm serving in Delhi only, sir, as a DANIX officer. I'm an SDM under trainee with the South Delhi district. So currently also, sir, I'm staying in Delhi.
Very good. So you've been there for long.
Yes, sir.
Shahadra contributes how much to the Delhi pollution?
Sir, there is I'm not aware of the quantitative assessment and the quantitative contribution, but sir, the AQI near the Anand Vihar terminal, which is close to Shadra, sir, that is one of the highest amongst the various monitoring stations that we have in Delhi, and sir, that remains in the range of 350 and 400 plus for most of the time. So it is, sir, one of the most contributing areas.
So that is one part. And Shahadra is famous for what?
Sir, I'll read about it, sir.
I mean, what is prominent activity in Shahadra? As simple as that. It could be the sports, it could be the greenery, it could be the development activity, it can be something else.
There is an industrial area which is close to Shadra, sir. Secondly, sir, there is district court in Karkarduma. That is also, sir, a prominent
very good,
place.
Very good. Yes.
And sir,
famous
sir,
more for its industry.
Yes, sir.
Industry base.
Yes, sir.
Now, since you are already in administration, did you get an urge or a chance to visit some of the industries on the ground?
Sir, I've not got any opportunity as of now to visit the industry, sir.
I got a chance. No, I didn't get a chance. I created a chance for no reason. Sir. I didn't have to go. But I went to see how a certain industry operates. I had no interest in that.
Sir.
I just shared curiosity. And I was appalled to see the unsafe conditions in which workers operate.
Sir.
So, I mean, I cannot say that this is true of the entire industry in Shahadra, but that was a very good peep into, as a sample. Anyway, we'll come back to that. You have some kind of very fascinating interest, and that is analyzing performance of Bollywood movies.
Yes, sir.
Now, what does that mean exactly?
Sir, I look at the performance with respect to certain parameters, sir. So the first parameter I look is the Bollywood box office collections that the movie has garnered in the first day or in the first week or during the entire screening time of the movie. So secondly, I look at other qualitative parameters also, such as the story of the movie, script.
Very good, very good.
Sir.
Now, can you tell me from technical and from popular point of view that how a movie like Pathan or Triple R, how they collect so much of applause and so much of revenue, whereas, I mean, apparently they appear to be mere masala movies which were run 30-40 years ago or 20 years ago, and in fact they have become more funny or fictitious or unrealistic, so to say. What is it that make them run and be so successful?
So firstly, yes, sir, the story may have been similar. Pathan is a spy thriller, and we had spy thrillers earlier also, and movies such as RRR. The theme of the movies may be repeated, but sir, the story and the portrayal of the story is unique. Sir, with respect to Pathan, firstly, sir, it is Shah Rukh Khan's movie after a very long hiatus. His earlier movies, Zero, they were released in 2018, so it was an anticipated movie. Secondly, sir, there was a word of mouth that was created by the movie, and the producers and the directors had mobilized local fan groups, networks, social media networks to create this marketing activity. That also led to, sir,
And managed to create some controversy also.
about that, sir. I have limited idea, but sir,
Why limited? You are an analyst.
yes, sir.
You should. In fact, you are in a much better position to give an authentic answer. That much of these producers these days, they manage to manipulate to create a controversy before the movie is released. So everybody is wanting to see dear Deepika. Yeah.
Sir, that
You
yes,
agree with that? It's manipulated.
sir, that can be done only for the first day or for the first 3 days, weekend, sir. After that, sir, it is the story of the movie, the acting, action of the movie, and other aspects of the movie that lead to, sir, footfall, and that lead to collection.
Okay,
sir.
let's come to a more superficial part of it. Why is called Bollywood? What is woody about it?
Sir, it is derived from Hollywood, and sir, it is just because Hollywood was named as Hollywood, so
So Hollywood is
because
derived from what? Tollywood.
sir, it was sir, in Los Angeles, there's a plant, sir. There's a fern which grows, sir, in the locality, sir, where Hollywood is situated, and the name of that fern was Hollywood. So based is that, sir, they named it Hollywood. And sir, we, because the film industry was based out of Bombay, so we adopted that and we named it as Bollywood, sir.
My last question to you.
Sir.
With so much of rich interest and hobbies and list of experience that you have collected,
Sir.
and in addition you are already an officer of the civil services.
Sir.
So give me very useful 3 tips that you have learned from your experience, not from your theory books and all that. 3 practical experiences of the administration, running public administration. 3 important lessons.
Sir, firstly, there should be empathy that should be shown by the person with respect to anyone who comes to his office for any work or any service to be provided, sir. And along with empathy, sir, one should have a patient, one should give a patient hearing to the person. So
this is one and the same thing.
yes, sir. So that,
Second,
sir. Secondly, sir, apart from empathy, one should be compassionate enough to go
again
the extra.
the same thing. Again the same thing.
One should make efforts to ensure that the work is done and there's no delays, bureaucratic delays or delays otherwise which come up. So one is required to go the extra mile to ensure that the work or the
Number
service.
3.
The third is that grievance redressal should be done and compliance should be done to whatever the service is being provided by other employees or by the staff. And sir, one should work to ensure that sustainability of whatever initiative he or she is taking, the sustainability is maintained. For instance, if someone brings some change, one should ensure that that change is carried on by the other officers who occupy his office at later stages. So such institutional or other measures should be taken. Sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Abhinav,
Sir.
I think in across Yamuna, how many districts are there now?
So 3 districts.
3 districts. Northeast, East and Shadra.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There are a lot of riots took place some time back, if you remember, communal riots and otherwise also. Riots very often take place in these districts. You are now in a position that you may be required to control the riots.
Sir.
What will you do?
Sir, there will be, sir, short-term measures and long-term measures that I would take. Sir, if there is a riot, then in short term, sir, there should be appropriate use of the penal provisions under CRPC, say section 144 or 145 or 143, to ensure that, sir, the riots are stopped, or mob which is trying to create riot, or if there is an unlawful assembly, that is taken care of, sir. Secondly, sir, if it prolongs for a period of time, then, sir, appropriate enforcement through the additional forces, police or armed forces, that can be done. So, sir, these are the short-term measures. And thirdly, sir, if there is scope for consultation, deliberation, discussion with the people to ensure that the issues that they are writing for or the issues that they're raising, if consultation can be done, sir, that should also be taken care of. But in the long term, one should look at the reasons why there are frequent riots. If there are issues of relative deprivation with respect to basic services, sanitation, sewage, water, or economic opportunities, then sir, I'll ensure that such relative deprivation is taken care of. And sir, secondly, if there are certain specific grievances one has with respect to any initiative or policy of the government, so then in the long term there should be a stakeholder alignment and consensus with different stakeholders and sections of the society to ensure that the grievances they have are taken care of. So these are some of the things I'll do.
What stage will you think it will be proper to confiscate the armed licenses?
Sir, if there is an unlawful assembly and if they are planning, if they are firstly writing, or if they are planning to create some riot or create some public nuisance, then sir, at that stage there should be confiscation of licenses, sir.
Now Yamuna river flows very close by
Yes, sir.
to your all these three districts, and suppose the overflow of water during flood, etc., or any other disaster takes place. So what do you have in mind to control the disaster management?
Sir, here also I'll look at short-term and long-term measures, sir. In short-term, there should be, sir, evacuation of the houses or the settlements which are on the flood plains of the river, so that they're immediately evacuated and people are taken away to safe places. Secondly, sir, because some of the water is controlled by Haryana, so sir, appropriate messaging would be required to convey to Haryana so as to ensure that the water in Yamuna river is controlled and there is a reduction in the supply that is coming from there, sir. And thirdly, sir, for the evacuated people, there should be rehabilitation measures. They should be provided with food, blankets, or temporary accommodation that should be done. In the long term, sir, it should be ensured that there is no construction activity or other activities on the floodplains. Secondly, sir, there should be retaining walls which should be made closer to the areas where flooding is more prone. So that should be done, sir, in the longer term.
You are a young budding officer.
Sir.
The private schools are doing much better, and people are seeking admission in private schools. Still, they don't get it. Many of them, they don't get their children to be admitted in those schools. Why it is so that they don't want to go to government schools? And what measures would you suggest that the education in government school, the standard of education is improved in government schools?
Sir, firstly, there are multiple factors here also, sir. Firstly, sir, it is found that there is teacher absenteeism in government schools, sir. Surveys have been conducted by, sir, NGOs such as Pratham and Asar survey, which found out that the performance outcome or the numeracy and literacy skills in certain government schools, like 32% of class 5 children cannot read class 3 text. So the performance outcome is also suboptimal compared to other schools. And thirdly, sir, certain government schools have lack of basic infrastructure such as drinking water or toilet for girls. So these are some of the issues, sir, due to which people may not want to send their children to government schools, sir.
What measures will you suggest to raise the standard of government schools?
Sir, there should be proper training to teachers that should be done, and sir, there should be compliance on their attendance, and they should be coming regularly, and they should not be doing any other work which generally they do. Secondly, sir, basic infrastructure such as toilets, drinking water, or benches for students to sit, fans, etc., they should be taken care of, sir. And sir, curriculum, as we are currently doing under the national education policy, it should be streamlined to have vocational education also in government schools and teaching in vernacular education as per the region where the schools are located, sir. And fourthly, sir, there should be assessment which should be done by NGOs such as Pratham and also by the government and the Department of Education to ensure that the changes are bringing some results.
Okay, you've been a student of engineering. Electrical has been your subject. Now name 5 of the top cyber crimes, which only 5 you tell me. Which are these 5 cyber crimes? Only 5 of them you tell me.
Sir, first is phishing and sir.
Second?
Sir, second is ransom, sir, which is drawn through a ransomware.
Okay.
Third are, sir, botnets, which are used to infect or damage any system and seek information from there. Fourth are sir, cyber attacks, which involves botnets also, and it involves malwares, Trojan houses. And fifth is, sir, cyber bullying, instances of stalking or intimidation through the use of information technology.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Now, somebody told me,
Sir,
soil of Delhi is full of blood. Was he speaking correct?
sir, metaphorically, it is true that it is full of blood, because there have been various battles, sir, which have been.
Which battle you can recall being the first one?
Sir, the earlier battles that we have in ancient and medieval period, sir, they were fought close to Delhi, sir, but not actually in Delhi, sir. Like we had the Battle of Tarain, sir, which was fought in Karnal. Tarain,
Even before that?
Sir, we had Mahabharata, which was fought in Kurukshetra, but that was not in Delhi, sir.
Okay.
And sir, the battle which was fought in Delhi in the present geographical context that we have was, sir, revolt of 1857, sir, where many people were killed, and we have a Khuni Jheel also, sir, in Delhi, where people were killed and they died in the well. So, sir,
had you visited the places associated with Sipahi Mutiny or 1857 War of Independence?
Sir, in Haryana I visited.
No, in Delhi?
Sir, in Delhi, sir, I visited only the Khuni Jheel, sir.
Khuni Jheel?
Yes, sir.
And there is Khuni Darwaja also?
Sir, that I'll visit, sir.
Okay. And Lal Killa?
Yes, sir, Lal Killa I visited.
Okay. They are not associated with 1857?
Yes, sir, it was the fort of Bahadur Shah Zafar, sir, it is associated.
Now tell me, Russia-Ukraine war,
Sir.
It is almost going to be 1 year.
Yes, sir.
Nobody is giving any effort to stop it. In whose benefit the war is being fought?
Sir, there are multiple stakeholders here.
Like?
For instance, sir, first is the Russian government, sir.
What benefit do they have?
Sir, they would be able to administer, control, and have in possession the areas of Donetsk and Luhansk, which are areas, Russian-speaking areas, and they claim that they fought.
Okay. Next.
Sir, next stakeholder is Ukraine, sir. It does not have any benefit in the war. It is at the losing end. And thirdly, sir, it is the global community, nations like India and other nations.
What is the role of global community to allow the war to continue?
Sir, the war should not have continued, and discussion should have taken place, and there should have
Why
been.
it is not happening? That is my question.
Sir, there are both the nations, sir, Ukraine, Russia, and other nations. They have taken some stiff positions, and there is limited maneuvering.
No, we have got United Nations. We have got other fora where the matter could have been discussed. All those countries who cry for peace, they could have come into action. Nothing, nobody, total silence.
Sir, firstly, there have been limited attempts by United Nations and other bodies to contain the war. Sir, UNHCR, United Nations Human Rights Council, they've passed resolutions condemning the Russian aggression and the violation of human rights that have taken place. However, and certain sanctions have also been imposed on Russia and Russian supplies.
But that harms the European Union only.
Yes, sir. Gas supply.
So do you think that indirectly or directly it is benefiting USA?
Yes, sir. It is benefiting USA economically. Their exports would grow. Exports of oil and gas to some extent. The latest oil and gas discovery that they have, shale gas, they would grow. Secondly, sir, because Ukraine, geopolitically, Ukraine is aligning closer to the West. So that is a geopolitical win to some extent for them, sir.
What? Dollar? Value of dollar?
Sir, that has, sir, yes, sir, it is related to war also, but that has other aspects also, which is, sir, the Fed rate hike and the macroeconomic factors which are associated.
Arms and ammunitions?
Yes, sir, supply of arms and ammunition would also improve their exports.
So can we conclude safely that it is in the interest of USA that the war should continue?
Sir, it may not be concluded that it is in their interest, because in the long term, sir, if there are such geopolitical tensions that are happening, then it would have certain repercussions for them also, sir. So in the longer run it may not be suitable for them, yes, because of the economic and the political gains that they have in the short term, then it may be to some extent
As
suitable
on
for them.
today, if you are in Danics,
Yes, sir.
which portion of India you would like to serve as a Danics officer?
Sir, I'll be comfortable and happy to serve in whichever.
That is standard answer. I am asking your personal choice. I am a person who is controlling your posting. So tell me, where do you want to be posted?
Sir, Andaman and Nicobar.
Andaman. Why?
Sir, because sir, there's a lot of potential to bring incremental changes, even if small incremental.
Why not Arunachal?
Sir, we do not have Arunachal, sir.
You don't have.
We have, sir, Delhi,
Ladakh.
No, sir. As of now, we don't have, sir, that. Delhi.
Oh, achha, this is Delhi. Sorry, I thought Agmut.
Yes.
Sir, okay. Abhinav,
Sir.
I am finding very interesting in your DAF. You were in 2017, 1.65 lakhs your salary per month. Then you have declining. Now 68,000. It is, I am not able to understand why you are going for a declining economic remuneration, accepting it consciously. What is the logic?
So there are two aspects to this. First is that, sir, the work profile of the services which I opted for after working in management consulting and investment banking. Sir, it was the work profile which attracted me in, say, as a first job as an Nayab Tehsildar also, and currently as an SDM under trainee also. Secondly, sir, I believe that, and after getting the money that I've got, I believe that, sir, the marginal output of additional money is very less, and I've been able to fulfill my basic needs and that of my family to some extent with the salary that I was getting and that I am getting. So, sir, money was not a factor. It was the work profile which I saw in the revenue department there and as an SDM here, which I found would be more enriching to me compared to the money I would be getting.
Another thing I find, you are a sociology student.
Sir.
We find you are a Bollywood is your fascination. Can you identify 3 or 4 disturbing features, sociological trends,
Sir.
which may not be real, but which is there in the Bollywood?
So the first trend is patriarchy or toxic masculinity to some extent, sir, where the male protagonist is seen to be having higher authority or having higher decision making powers or agency powers compared to the female protagonist. And, sir, this continues in various forms, which is lower remuneration to female protagonists or lower screen time or lower.
Yeah, that's okay. Second.
Sir, second is, sir, there are certain imagery and certain scenes which are depicted in Bollywood, such as violence against women or violence, rape, which also is a disturbing trend, which may or may not be in sync with reality, sir. Third is, sir, in some of the movies, there is some kind of discrimination and social prejudices against certain sections of the society based on caste or based on region. So that is also one of the disturbing trends, sir, in Bollywood.
Okay. In Ajay Devgan's Singham Returns,
Yes, sir.
2, 3, I don't know how many. And what features in law and order issues you will absorb as an IPS officer if you are selected as an IPS?
The first would be to ensure that there is the features that I would absorb from there would be, sir, honesty, impartiality, neutrality. Second would be, sir, integrity, the integrity that the protagonist in that movie has shown, sir. However, sir, there are certain features also which I would not want to absorb from the movie as an IPS officer.
What are those?
Sir, those features are not following the procedure established by law and rule of law, and tendencies to give immediate justice instead of following the proper procedure.
Would you follow Salman Khan's Dabangg, IPS officer depicted in Dabangg?
Yes, sir.
What are the features you would like to observe?
Sir, his quest to have justice for the citizens and for the people who've come to him. Secondly, sir, to ensure that there is rule of law in the society, and the nexus of politicians or the people who have adequate wealth, that nexus is broken. And third, to ensure that there is a justice delivery and fiefdom of certain individuals is broken and a rule of law is established.
As an IFS aspirant,
Sir.
India-China relation
Sir.
is getting, at least in the line of control area, there are various issues.
Yes.
What India has done, what China has done, what is US policy between India-China disputes on border?
On the question of what India has done, sir, India has been undertaking border area development programs, stepping up infrastructure on the border areas, ensuring that not only infrastructure, there is investment in the border areas, Ladakh, Arunachal Pradesh, that is done. And sir, also we are trying to establish establish engagement with the locals to ensure that we have some kind of more solidarity and collective conscience with them. Sir, China is is also undertaking road development and is stepping up or beefing up its forces on the border, particularly the Ladakh and the Arunachal segments.
Now US policy.
So US has been giving primacy to India with respect to its strategy in the Pacific, which has changed.
About this issue.
So US has not done anything directly to have any major underpinning on this issue, but indirectly, sir, through initiatives such as Quad or changing.
No, US has, anyway, you must not have read that. US has declared that Arunachal is an integral part of India,
sir,
and China must not do anything.
Sir.
Okay.
Thank you,
sir.
Abhinav,
sir.
In 2020, Haryana government has passed an act to provide reservation in private sector,
sir,
on the basis of domicile. Are you aware of this?
Yes, sir.
Please tell me the provisions of this act.
Sir, there would be 75% reservation to people who have their domicile and are residents of Haryana, and sir, that would be in jobs which have a certain income criteria. Sir, I'm not able to recall.
30K.
Yes, sir.
Maximum 30K.
Yes, sir. And sir, currently the case is sub judice because it was challenged that it violates the fundamental rights of, firstly, Article 19(1), freedom of profession and right to profess, and also, sir, freedom of movement across the country. So, sir, currently it is sub judice and the matter is with this honorable court.
How it is related with Article 16(4)?
Sir, Article 16(4) enables the state to undertake appropriate measures and to provide reservations to ensure that the discrimination against the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and other backward classes is taken care of. But sir, residence as a criteria does not find a mention over there, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
What were the important points of judgment of Indra Sawhney case?
Sir.
And is it the time to review this judgment? And probably to change some points of judgment, like capping is 50% and that is not practical after EWS reservation. So what is your take?
Sir, for answering the first question, sir, the judgment, sir, it firstly prohibited the reservation that was given for promotions to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Secondly, sir, as you said, it capped the maximum reservation to 50%, and thirdly, sir, it introduced criteria of creamy layer to ensure that the people who deserve the reservation are getting the positive discrimination, sir. Sir, with the second question, sir, there are certain aspects which can be looked at, sir. Sir, the 50% limit can be capped given that there is still need of reservation, and now discrimination or the lack of or the deprivation has taken multiple forms. From caste it has gone to gender and other aspects, sir. Sir, with respect to creamy layer, Yes, sir, that can also be kept because we have provided another criteria with respect to economic reservation, which is the EWS class. So, sir, the tenets of the judgment can be followed now also, sir.
There is another debate on basic structure of constitution.
Sir.
Should it be reviewed?
Sir, the basic structure of the constitution has been the essence of.
What is the recent debate on this?
Sir, it has emerged from the debates over the collegium appointment, and there have been initiatives or there have been voices to change the appointment of the honorable judges of the Supreme Court and High Court, and it was in that context that the honorable vice president and others had raised thought of changing the had thought of reviewing the basic structure and changing the appointment of judges, sir.
Okay, your hobby is related to Bollywood movies.
Sir.
To analyze,
Yes, sir.
I will ask that what Hollywood should learn from Bollywood movie industry. Then suggest me 2 points or 3 points in favor of this statement.
Sir, firstly, romanticism is one thing which
That is missing in Hollywood.
Hollywood, sir. The Indian movies, sir.
I have seen many movies.
The romanticism in the sense that, sir, they do not. They have limited idealism. They have more practicalities and pragmatism involved in their movies. Sir, Indian movies have imagery, scenes, and descriptions which may not happen in reality, sir.
And they don't sing songs also.
Yes, sir. Singing songs in mustard fields, or sir, one man fighting 50 people, one bullet killing 10 people. So these are parts of romanticism which may not be practical, but
they should learn this.
Yes, sir.
We should we should learn from them.
Sir, they should all. Sir, this is a art form, sir, and one looks at movies like an art form. So romanticism can be applied in those movies, sir.
Okay, that part is missing in Hollywood.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Next.
Sir, Hollywood movies learning from Bollywood.
Yes, yes.
Sir, next would be to ensure that there is the ending of the movie that takes place that happens on a positive note, or it is the male protagonist who ends up victorious, or who emerges over all the trials, tribulations, suffering that he or she has. Some of the Hollywood movies, they end with a tragedy, or the male protagonist is not always the winner. So this is another thing they can learn, sir.
Okay.
Yes, Abhinav Siwach.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I thought when my friend was asking you why are you changing to lesser paying jobs, I thought you would answer by saying I am a monk who sold his Ferrari. You didn't say that because you seem to be seeking happiness elsewhere. Yeah, that was the goal. You were switching over to lesser paying jobs because you were seeking happiness elsewhere, isn't it? You were looking for more satisfying jobs. That was your goal.
Sir, that was one of the goals. And
One
sir,
of the goals.
Another goal was this, related to this only, would be the longer term satisfaction that I would have had there vis-a-vis that I would have here. So
Same thing.
yes, sir.
Same thing. Now, my question to you is, which job in the civil services career would give you the kind of satisfaction that you are looking for? And what is that satisfaction?
So which job as in service, or
which type or which assignment in civil services career would give you the utmost satisfaction?
sir, all the assignments starting, sir, say in the Indian administrative services, all the assignments starting as a subdivisional magistrate, then as an ADM, DM, and then sir, principal secretary, additional chief secretary to the ministries, all the jobs would give satisfaction, because sir, as an SDM at the district level, as an SDM, ADM, or as a DM, I would be working on sir policy implementation and execution, and sir, I would be able to touch different sectors, which is health, education, revenue, and other sectors, law and order also, sir, to some extent.
Yeah,
And
don't you think that it is a very cliched answer? Everybody says that, you know, because wherever you are working, you are implementing.
yes, sir.
You are also helping frame policies, frame better policies, and you are helping make good decisions everywhere in whatever sector. Civil services. I mean, I don't understand. What is it? You have to give me that satisfaction.
Yes, sir.
The job which gives you satisfaction for what? What kind of satisfaction? Because diverse means what? You are jack of all trades and master of none. You are dealing with education for 6 months. You switch over to agriculture for 1 year. I mean, what is the kind of satisfaction that you are deriving or passing on to the beneficiaries?
Sir.
Give me a better convincing answer.
Yes, sir. Sir, from my limited experience as a Naib Tehsildar and now, sir, as an SDM under trainee, sir, South Delhi district has a population of around 27 lakhs, sir. And, sir, on a monthly average, sir, I'll only take a case of issuance of certificates, sir. Sir, monthly there are around 3,000 certificates, OBC certificates, CWS, caste certificates which are issued, sir. Sir, small interventions by the DM. The intervention was that instead of people lining up in queues, waiting for month, 2 month, submitting their forms manually, then getting queries and replying to those queries, instead of this all process, when the process got digitized, sir, the ease of service delivery and the ease with which
Who digitized it?
sir, it was in 2014, sir.
Okay, thank you. That's a better answer.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We'll see you in a couple of minutes. Please wait outside.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, our dear
Sir.
ADM oblique SDM oblique future DM soon
Sir.
to be. Good to have met you, a serving officer,
Sir.
because you know, with a serving officer, it is a very fruitful two-way communication. It's a learning for us also. People, young people like you bring in fresh ideas and fresh enthusiasm. And good thing is that although you've been working for now, how many years?
Sir, currently I'm under training only.
No. Previously you were working in some assignment, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So about 2 years.
Yes, sir.
About 2 years. So good thing is that you are retaining your freshness.
Sir.
You are retaining your enthusiasm, and you want to do much more and much better.
Yes, sir.
That is your insistence, and that is what we like. We all feel very happy that you show no signs of getting bogged down by the routine.
Sir.
Because administration का सबसे भारी negative problem ये होता है that you know, there is routine and routine and routine.
Sir.
Even if paperwork is reduced and a lot of technology is used, but you know, rarely one gets a chance to look up and be compassionate and empathetic, like you said. But you, since you insist, I'm sure you would carry that spirit not only in your career, in the interview that you face at the UPSC.
Yes, sir.
So you are on the right track. And yes, ultimately the goal of the administration is to reach out to the beneficiaries, wherever department you may be. Not only beneficiaries, reaching out to those who are so-called beneficiaries but have been deprived of
Yes, sir.
the benefits. So whether by way of digitizing the work or whatever, sustain that spirit and sustain that spirit in your answers.
Yes, sir.
Right? That will help you in your this thing. You are quite updated on most of the questions that were asked. This thing, and you are a wonderful analyst on a very unconventional area for an officer, in the sense that I mean, that part of your personality, you spare a certain part of your personality to devote to something else as effectively, which is a very good thing. Where is the time to, read or to watch movies and then analyze and, but you are very authentic on that. Very authentic on that. Now, do you write or publish these analyses?
No, sir.
I would suggest that, you don't have to do it yourself. You have plenty of help.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you will have plenty of help. Even now you have. You can always tell one of your Johnnies, as they say, who is good in savvy computers and all that, and set up a small little blog or something. It's not only earning likes and goodwill and money that flows these days, but you sustain your energies into something creative.
Sir.
So that keeps you, more live.
Yes, sir.
Instead of getting just narrowed down to one work, it's always good to pursue a hobby. And I hope you do some exercises, some meditation, some yoga. कुछ करते हैं?
No, sir.
Nothing.
Nothing, sir.
When is your interview?
The 9th of March.
9th of March.
Yes, sir.
So 9th of March also gives you 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. 2.5
Yes?
weeks. Yes, sir.
तो 2 week में एक काम आप करिए.
Sir.
Honestly करिए. I know you will do it.
Yes, sir.
2 weeks में 2 दिन निकाल दीजिए.
Sir.
So that means that take it Sundays or whatever days.
Yes, sir.
Rest of the days do some kind of yoga.
Yes, sir.
Okay, some kind of exercises where you don't have to go outside or seek any guidance. Put on some TV video or this thing. 4-5 आसन बड़े सिंपल वाले कर लीजिए.
Yes.
उसके 2 एडवांटेजेस बड़े ज़बरदस्त आपको मिलने वाले हैं, है ना. Firstly, your body language will be improved.
Yes.
Not that you have any issue on that. It will improve.
Sir.
Your self-confidence will improve.
Sir.
In yoga gives you that kind of strength inside. Any exercise gives you, any sports or any physical activity gives you. So that is one. Secondly, it will bring in more strength in your answers.
Yes, sir.
You can always somewhere, push in and say, sir, I follow yoga regime, or I have just started yoga regime. You don't have to say I've been following. Otherwise, तो बहुत सारे सवाल आ जाएंगे. But those 4-5 asanas you do, you read about them well. What are the advantages and what are the benefits, and I mean what precautions to take and वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह.
Yes, sir.
First class. All very good. If you have anything to ask, please don't hesitate to ask.
Sir, were the answers a bit longer?
To?
Sir, were the answers a bit longer to the question?
No,
Okay, sir.
they were not.
Sir.
They were not. You were taking care. You were taking care. But it's always good, to make the board ask you more.
Yes, sir.
तो उसका एक clever जो वो है tip
Sir.
is that no answer should go beyond 4 sentences.
Yes, sir.
At most 5 sentences. So first, एक तो ये कि आप you keep in reserve some masala, and end your answer at a stage where member feel ask you more.
Sure.
Crisp answers are always good, but you are definitely not going longish.
Sir.
You are doing very well.
Sir.
You can smile and little louder.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
थोड़ा सा सर बैठने के पोस्चर में थोड़ा सा मुझे
थोड़ा
Straight. As sir was telling, na yogi.
Yes, sir.
Spine should not be bent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
हाँ मतलब बहुत रिलैक्स वैसे आप
अरे
बैठ रहे
पीछे
हैं
मत
तो
जाइए,
कर्व हो
उसका
जाए.
रेस्ट मत लीजिए.
Attentive.
Okay, sir.
Fully attentive
Yes,
to the board.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
तो आपको पीछे ऐसा भी नहीं होना है कि आप उस पर
हाँ,
पीछे
Relax मत करना. Attentive.
कुर्सी के बैक में सपोर्ट नहीं लेना है.
Yes,
Sit
sir.
straight. Straight
जनरली आप
means
शायद बैठते हैं तो ऐसा हो जाता है ना, ऐसे हो जाता होगा.
Yes, sir.
कर्व हो जाता है.
100% alertness.
Yes,
Okay. Involvement.
Yes, sir.
नहीं, अभी थोड़ा सा जैसे हल्का सा स्लाउश था आपके पोर्शन में.
yes,
You are aware that I mean most of the chair-borne people do that.
Yes, sir.
इसका बेस्ट ये है कि ड्यूरिंग दीज इंटरव्यूज अगर 2 हफ्ते में ये भी प्रैक्टिस करिए, कुछ पीछे नहीं जाना है. दीज पॉइंट्स जस्ट पुल देम स्लाइटली बैक.
Yes, sir.
You know, अभी जैसे है, अभी this is much more alert, much more live. And if you do yoga,
Yes, sir.
4-5 asanas, you will be absolutely shining.
Sir.
And do shave.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You come for the mock interview, you should have thought of that you come for a real interview.
Yes, sir.
Go in that position.
Yes, sir.
Prepare.
Everything is fine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll share. Yes.
Good.
We are going to see you at Lavasana.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay? For sure.
Sir.
All the very best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. One doubt I have, sir. Sir, my roll number starts with 6-3, sir. And sir, 6-3. And that has a disadvantage that, sir, I would be the last one to go in the interview board. So I have forenoon session, and sir, on that day they sort the people in ascending order. So because it starts with 6-3, I would be the last one to go, sir.
In the forenoon.
In the forenoon, I'll be the last one. So I'll go at around say 12 or sir, 12:15.
Very
इन सब
good.
चीज़ों की चिंता मत.
Very
बोलो
good.
बोलो पूछ लो क्या बोल.
नहीं, but इसमें डाउट क्या है?
Sir, इसमें doubt है कि because the board may want to disperse for lunch, they may not have appropriate.
Better for you.
They may take
No.
less.
Better for you. I mean, देखिए, if board members are in a hurry to go for lunch, they will ask you small questions, lesser number of questions. But आप ये मान के चलिए, I mean, you are an officer now. They are very seasoned people. In fact, they will take extra care. That candidate who's towards the last, is given appropriate time and justice. And they would hate to give an impression that they are in a hurry or they are hungry. Okay?
8th March is Women's Day. तो थोड़ा सा देख
Be ready.
है ना.
But overall बहुत अच्छा है.
You answered well. All those disturbing sociological trends and all, you gave very good reasoning. All the best.
ठीक है.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
StudyIQ IAS अब तैयारी हुई अफोर्डेबल.